Good. Better. Best. Oh, God. Don't judge. It's past 9 o'clock in the morning and my kids are driving me absolutely crazy. Good morning, endurance friends. Matt Mosman, Chief Endurance Officer over at EndurElite, the maker of premium supplements for endurance athletes, and endurance training and supplement expert. So today we're going to talk about hydration requirements for endurance athletes. You're probably going to want to save the beer or liquor for after, and even then maybe not, because it might hamper your recovery a little bit. But that's a topic for another video. So today we're going to talk about hydration requirements for endurance athletes. And if you're like me and you sweat like a whore in church, you're going to need to hydrate for a few different reasons. One, even a 2% reduction in body weight can hamper endurance performance when it comes to being dehydrated. Two, that can lead to things like heat stroke and heat exhaustion. And three, it just plain sucks being thirsty. So 3 good reasons there to be really hydrated before, during, and after exercise. So what we're going to discuss today is, again, the hydration before, during, and after endurance exercise. Some supplements that might help with hyperhydrating your body before you go out in a hot and humid environment to maybe help with cellular hydration a little bit more, and then kind of the best ways to carry hydration with you if you're a runner, cyclist, or obstacle course racing athlete. So before exercise, you want to hydrate with about 16 to 20 ounces of water or sports drink about 2 to 3 hours beforehand, and then another 6 to 10 ounces about 10 to 20 minutes before endurance exercise, which your 6 to 10 ounces can come in the form of drinking some EndurElite. Now, that's before exercise, just to maintain optimal hydration levels. Now, during exercise, you're going to want to shoot for 16 to 30 ounces of water or sports drink per hour of exercise. And this is just to maintain hydration and make sure you're not losing a lot of bodily water that will hamper endurance performance. Now, after exercise, the way you're going to kind of figure this out is you want to do your pre-exercise weight and take that minus your post-exercise weight. And whatever that amount comes to be, you want to figure out in kilograms. And what you're going to do is you're going to drink about 50 ounces of water or sports drink or some kind of beverage after for every kilogram body weight loss. So if you lose 2 kilograms of body weight, you're going to want to replenish with 100 ounces of water or a carbohydrate sports drink or a recovery drink or things of that nature. So that's kind of really general hydration guidelines before, during, and after exercise. Now this is just a general recommendations. It's really going to depend on the athlete type, your gender, your body weight, exercise duration and intensity. A lot of it's really going to depend on the environment you're exercising in too. So that may change from winter to summer, how much you're hydrating before, during, and after. To get a little more exact for how much fluid you should be drinking during endurance exercise, you could go and get go online and Google search sweat rate calculator. And this basically takes your pre-exercise weight minus your post-exercise weight. You're going to figure in things like how much fluid you're drinking during exercise. And oddly enough, if you're urinating during exercise, you calculate that in there, which I don't know how that's possible. You might get a few weird looks if you're out running on the trail and you're peeing in a measuring cup and you're recording that. That would be a little bit odd. But obviously, what you do is you just basically throw all those numbers in a calculator and that will tell you your sweat rate and basically how much fluid you should be replacing during endurance exercise. So that's kind of, like I said, your hydration guidelines, some more general guidelines, and then more exact with that sweat rate calculator. Now, I know a lot of people have a hard time hydrating during exercise or drinking the appropriate amounts of fluids. This is especially true for obstacle course racers who, they're swinging on rings and throwing spears and jumping through fire. So, they really can't really carry, any kind of hydration pack or handheld hydration unit. So there's a few supplements you can take that can hyperhydrate your body before exercise. We won't go in depth, on the physiological mechanisms behind all these. So we'll cover that in a different article. But these ingredients or supplements that can help with hyperhydration is one, taurine, which is found in PerformElite. Two is creatine, which might come as kind of a surprise to some of you. Most people think of creatine as a strength training supplement, and that's true. It's very effective, but as an endurance athlete, even if you get 2 grams of creatine, that will give you a lot of the benefits of creatine without the weight gain. And then, like I said, it can help with intercellular hydration as well. And then the last one is glycerol. Glycerol causes an influx of fluid into the cell as well. So those 3 ingredients could be very beneficial if you have a hard time drinking enough fluid during exercise, or if you're, you just can't really, practically carry any kind of hydration with you when you're running, biking, or doing the whole obstacle course racing thing. So that kind of leads me to my next point. How are you carrying hydration when you exercise? So, for biking, it's pretty easy. You have your water bottle cages, you have your Camelback. Hydration's, pretty darn easy. You just grab it and you drink it and you put it back. For running, it's a little more difficult. You can have, the handheld bottles that slip over your hand. You can have the Camelback. And those are probably your 2 most practical options. And then as an OCR racer, again, it becomes really difficult because you're performing a lot of different functions or obstacles in addition to running. So for all 3 of those types of athletes or any other endurance type athletes, utilize those aid stations, if you're racing, and then kind of gauge how much water you may need or may not need to carry during endurance exercise. For training, if you're running or you're doing, obstacle course racing training, you can always stash water bottles along the trail if you don't want to carry any kind of hydration unit. So that's about it for the hydration guidelines for endurance athletes. As a kind of an added note, EndurElite is going to be releasing a sports drink hydration formula here in the middle of February called EndurElite. And I say this with all sincerity, this sports drink is going to change the way you fuel and hydrate during exercise. It's a formula like none you've ever seen before. While most sports drinks use really simple and cheap ingredients like maltodextrin as their main sugar, EndurElite it's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be fantastic. Check it out on the website. The ingredient profile is up on there now. www.endurelite.com. Navigate to the EndurElite page, and you'll kind of see what is really going to make it a lot different from any other sports drink you have ever tried. So that is about it for now. Until next time, my endurance friends, stay fueled, stay focused, stay fast, and stay hydrated.